everyone, it's your girl, Baby Clement. Also, Tony Osun is going to N2billion. As the host of your weekly business show, so we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business and you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I make the finance? How will I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful individual and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your business on life.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dance all taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dance all taking over. You know what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin number one. Tune in every day, every night at the Star Radio UK with the big man, them Archie. When I say Archie, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'll bring the time now to TikTok. 10:49, but let's go global. 14. What is happening this morning across the globe? Let me bring you that. Now, coming up is already quite on some of the stories I'm going to be looking at this morning, from Nigeria to the one not undermining judiciary, no plan for one-party rule. Is that what he intends doing? Or is that what some people are speculating that he's going to be doing? But President Bola Tinubu administration says he is not undermining the judiciary and planning to force a one-party state on Nigeria. This is not going to happen. Why? Now, I think we've gone past that place. I think we've gone past it. Okay? Now, presidency films tackles Obasanjo over democracy comment. The presidency on Monday blamed former President Olusegun Obasanjo for the current state of Nigeria's democracy. What did he do wrong there? Now, customs intercept over 15,000 liters of petrol, others worth 13 million naira. Okay? And then CSO laments Nigeria's rising debt profile. Civil society organization, the African Network for Environment and Economic Justice, on Tuesday lamented the rising debt profile of Nigeria and some West African countries. Osun State Governor Adeleke spends 2 billion naira on meals, welfare packages, and 6 billion naira to run his office in 3 months. I mean, the people in Osun are very, very rich, aren't they? And everybody is living well. There are no puppets or anything of the sort there. If not, And then terrorists still holding on to 6 female students of Nigeria's Federal University in Katsina, Zamfara State. But then the former president went out to see into the negotiating of the release of this one. Woli? Ajala, massive good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining in as well. Welcome to the president of ones and invited to like our page. Star Radio UK. Now let's move on to other stories making the rounds this morning. In other parts of the world, in Madagascar's nation, Rogelina takes early leave. Madagascar's incumbent president, Andry Rogelina, is leading last Thursday's election with currently 62.4% of the vote. Meanwhile, there are people who decided to, other parties who decided to abstain or boycott it. So, okay, in other stories as well, Bukai declared winner of Liberia's presidential election by the Electoral Commission. Bukai won with 50.64% of the vote against 49.36% of the vote for Ria. In other stories as well, Senegal's opposition party sponsors new candidate in presidential polls. So, who have they placed there in place over or replace with Sonko? We'll tell you more about that. And here, the opposition leader, Moise Katumbi, launched his presidential campaign. We'll see how things pan out there. I will hope that things are peaceful, though. And in Mali, MINUSMA hands over 9 bays to authorities and 32 dead in attacks in disputed region between Sudan and South Sudan. There are some stories in Ghana as well. Affirmative action bill. IMF can't dictate parliament to parliament. That's what Darwin is saying. Well. You call Calabash in hand. your leadership are not seeing to running your finances the right way that it's supposed to. And you tell them, well, we are giving you all the rules that yes, that you can use to run your affairs and pay yourself. You tell them they cannot dictate to you what you have to do. Boy, you sold your rights when you went to them for that money because it's upon their conditions. Alright? Well, I'll be bringing you more details about that. And the police are on my hands for suspects who attacked football coach Isunyani is one of the stories making the rounds. Saglemi housing, fourth accused reported dead as trial of Collins Dauda and others begin. But those properties, why are they sitting there for? I don't get it. We live as if we sort of, let me put it this way, but like we are Saudi Arabia or Qatar where we've got lots of money and we have the chance to, waste some. If you see the Saglemi project, you look at it very well and you look at things that have gone on in there, you ask yourself the question, really? Why do we behave that way? Meanwhile, there are some people sleeping somewhere, and those buildings have been there for how many years now? Dilapidated? Because another government built it, and you don't have any missing with it. Well, so I'm not going to bulldoze them all down. Well, we'll tell you more about that as the program goes on. So wherever you are, don't touch the dial. It is already okay. Still in Ghana, one other story. Can MMDC is to be dismissed by Kufuado? Can he? Will he? That's the question. A reflection on betrayal and triumph. Ken's presidential dream put the phenomena to, okay, I'll be telling you more about that as well. But the government of Ghana has restricted the importation, or is to restrict importation of rice, yomadia, and other products. Okay? That is Shaki. Those of us here, Shaki. Okay. And then in other parts of the world as well, what is happening there, some of the stories making the rounds there. Well, this morning, as Hamas leader says truce deal close as Israel yet to comment, the statement for...
Good morning once again. We're just getting ready for the morning show, the Star Radio.
marriages, especially in Africa and some of the other countries, let me put it that way. But the first video has emerged of Indian workers stuck in a tunnel. The 41 workers have been trapped in an under construction tunnel in northern India since the 12th of November. I don't know how or what they are doing to still be able to keep on there. And Brazil records its hottest ever temperature. The town of Aruca in the country's southeast hit a high of 44.8 degrees Celsius. Oh my, that is hot. And it's all coming away from Star Radio, UK. Now, in other stories making around here in the UK, in hindsight, we acted too late. Whitty tells COVID inquiry, said Chris Whitty, the chief medical officer for England, is giving evidence to the UK COVID-19 inquiry. Now, they're taking a swipe at the former Prime Minister and at the current Prime Minister. Now, do you think that is going to dampen the quest that they're trying to revamp public interest and their support of public interest come 2024 when there is certainly going to be an election, a general election. What do you think about that? And other stories, Nicola Valley disclosure by police unnecessary. The police are criticized for revealing personal information during their search for the missing mother. They said, well, you know, what's the problem of drunkenness and for blah, blah, blah. And, but when the autopsy and everything was done, the inquiry says that, well, there was no alcohol found in her system. And it's quite an interesting one. But what do you think about all that? This is Star Radio UK. This is the Tuesday edition of the morning show, and we are here to bring you everything that you need to know. I call to hear legal challenge to Troubles Act. The act will end future civil litigation and inquest into deaths that occurred during the troubles. Which troubles are they talking about? I'm going to tell you more about that. And you are criticizing severe gas stop oil sentences. One activist was jailed for 2 years and another for 3 after scaling that for crossing bridge. Well, they wanted to serve as a deterrent. So what do you think about all that? So it has to go. All right then. Now let me bring you my first tune here this morning, and it is from Kofi Boham. But you know, my producer has given me a nice tune, and I'm going to be bringing you during the course of the program. But it's called Mr. Liar. Don't worry, Dr. Liar. I'll be bringing you that during the course of the program. But for now, enjoy this song from Kofi Boham. He says, "Broken pencils, they can still write." So don't give up. I always want to tell you, always want to encourage people for them to understand that there's no need for you to give up or throw in the towel. Even if when you are down, you can rise up and do something. Yeah? So keep on keeping on. Enjoy this music, and I will be with you.
Don't want that music in my program. YouTube money copyright. Good morning once again. It's just 11 o'clock, so you know what it is. Star Radio UK morning show. As we go straight with Archie. Let's talk about what's going on with the news updates. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Empowering tomorrow. Nigeria Mada. Born in Latin over 60-something years. Bomb bastard country. I'll put this one here. I'm gonna leave this one a little bit like that, just in case. Alright, then we're good to go. Could put this one just a little bit like that. Yeah, just a little bit. Let me flag this, okay. Alright, it's good to go. Let's roll out. Let's roll out. Let's roll out. Let's roll out. And then the 21st. So we'll just literally. Literally, just almost. Okay, well, I can say good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. And thanks for joining as well. I think it's too much. Let's bring it back a little bit. Yeah, it's better that way. Alright, so we're good to go. I think this one can come out a little bit like this. Alright, okay, well, so let's join the studio. Ogumola, can you hear me properly on the MixLR? Go to the Pemo join studio. Plan B. Show audio and judge that because if I have to join Star Radio, I might not be able to concentrate back on that. Hope you can hear me very well. So if you can, just comment and let me know, please. straight into it. Sky. Don't want that in there. Mute that. Let's mute that. Alright, she's back now.
Somehow I've always been. And here. And then go. So that some more. Can hear me. Yomi, can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning. I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Good. Listeners, thank you very much for joining in this morning. It's one of we found out this morning, myself and Mr. Francis Guy, who were working, he was trying to do his stuff on the system. So we were watching it closely. He said, have you checked whether Yomi comes on, you can hear him? I said, don't worry, when he comes on, we'll hear him. And we can hear him now. So I hope that wherever you are listening to us from, to all of you who are on the various platforms, the sister platform, we want to salute each and every one of you. And once again, say thank you very much for joining in. Yomi, how are you and how is the family?
Well, it's another beautiful Tuesday morning, and as usual, the family is doing very well, and I hope yours are doing great as well.
Oh, yeah, they're all doing very, very well. Thank you very much there. Okay, now let's move on straight to some of the issues that is going on in Nigeria. Now, how come that it looks like people are now criticizing the president that he has maybe some tendencies of running Nigeria as a one-party state?
Well, the news started filtering out just less than 72 hours. I mean, I picked it up myself, and like as usual, you just have to wait to see, if there will be a response from the presidency. And you're quite right, that has actually, come back, that is not something that we should be expecting. I mean, Nigeria is not China, and we are not North Korea. I mean, we are a democratic country. That is what we are told. There's democracy. But as we've heard from Atiku, last week, trying to see if they can merge all the three or the other political parties together to make up a one political party, and in that way defeat the APC in 2027. We still have about 3 years before that, but it seems as usual politicians are planning ahead. They plan ahead in time before the next election. But I can confirm that there is now a report coming from the presidency this morning. We're just going to give you that in just about a few minutes. Tinubu is not planning to turn Nigeria into Tinubu not undermining judiciary. That is the first thing. Also, there's a lot of rumor out there that it seems that most of the states might become APC. How true that is, it seems that the presidency, disagree with that. We know that Tinubu is currently in Germany. I will tell you a little bit more about what I've heard from him. But earlier, the PDP Atiku Abubakar questioned the integrity of the judiciary after the court judgment sacking some opposition governors. We've now seen that some governors have lost their seat, and that has come back to the APC. That is the reason why Atiku is believing that the judiciary has now been undermined. There's also a plan to foist a one-party state on Nigeria. The presidency yesterday has now responded to the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar questions over the integrity of the judiciary following the recent court judgment that sacked some of the governors of opposition parties in some of the states. We know some of them are still going to the Supreme Court, but in a statement that was put out by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, insisted that Tinubu remain committed to upholding judicial independence and the Nigerian democratic values. Onanuga added that the allegation arose in the context of the PDP poor performance in the recent appeal court rulings regarding the election of some of his governors.
Well, it's quite interesting because whilst we were speaking, I was just trying to note things out, and I can tell you assuredly that there are few stories or events that have shown that the APC candidates seem to be, elections that maybe have been, pronounced in favor of other parties. The APC seem somewhere, somehow, to be, winning the cases in the court. And that's why people are of the view that Tinubu and his men are on the path of maybe just turning all things into APC where they have their own people there. So, do you think that the judiciary are being fair there, or is government having a hand in there trying to manipulate things? What is it?
Let's take you back to Osun State. There was a court ruling, and PDP won against the APC. So that is what Onanuga is saying, that if you cite back to some of the states that have also lost out, there's no way you can now come out and put these narratives in the minds of Nigerians. He also went on that Atiku and the PDP are only crying wolf just because of the loss of the appeal court rulings on the governorship polls in Plateau, Zamfara, Nasarawa State. He also asked him to ask the former vice president where he was in 2019 when the court ruled against all the Progressive Congress in Zamfara State. The court then awarded all the positions won by the APC to the PDP. He's now implore Atiku and PDP to stop this campaign of column blackmail against the judicial and most of the honorable judges. I'm not sure Nigerians, would accept, regardless of what Onanuga is saying. Onanuga is also, working because, that's, Tinubu is not his paycheck. He get paid by Tinubu. That is the job, he's meant to do. And like we always say, Tinubu understand the game of the media, especially for someone that is coming from the Southwest. The Southwest owns the media, and as long as you can continue to change the narrative is that Tinubu wants to tell Nigerians and international community that his government has integrity and judiciary has not been tampered with. But we know, for some of us that have seen things from behind the curtains, that judiciary has actually been tampered with. And when you talk about integrity of Tinubu, for me, I don't think he's got any integrity at all.
Interesting. Listen, let's start in the UK. Mr. Adeleke here in North London studios. I'm actually here in the South, the main studios that we are bringing you out from Nigeria. But has the faking of the significant allegation, has it died down now? Has it died down? How is the waters down?
Well, it seems that, Nigerians have probably moved on and accepted that since Buhari could not even provide us his own school cert, at least Tinubu told us he went to a university, but the only difference is whether he was a male or female. I think the saga of that has actually wind down. The question now is, many Nigerians are now putting Tinubu on his toe, asking the questions, how he's going to revive the economy, the insecurity. The president was in Germany and he's telling investors to come and invest in Nigeria. I'm not sure whether any investor would love to come into a country that has baggage of insecurity. And what are the insecurity? Again, it's not just about the insecurity. It's all about, again, the judicial system as well. as we speak this morning, terrorists are still holding 6 female students of the Nigerian Federal University in Katsina and Zamfara. The question is, would an investor from Germany invest in Katsina, where the former president hometown? He was also attacked. Remember that the convoy of the former president was attacked, at some point during the Eid festival on his, when they were heading to Katsina State. The question is all about the integrity. Integrity is also going to help, to bring investor into the country. But as we speak right now, many Nigerians are saying at least this president is not saying Nigerians are lazy. So you can see that Nigerians are trying to balance the situation as we speak this morning.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when Buhari said that Nigerians are lazy, that the young guys should all get out and work, find some work to do. But well, he said that is not what seems to be playing up now. But with the Katsina hostages or victims of the kidnapping, what has the former president said about it? Because it's his backyard. That's where he is. That's his state. Has he started to maybe see whether he can use his goodwill measures to maybe negotiate some truce for these individuals?
Well, we haven't seen much of what Buhari really wants to do after coming out of the the presidency. Now that he's just an ordinary citizen, we know that the Jonathan is working, trying to bring peace between African countries. As Buhari says, Nigerians are the most difficult people to govern. He also went on to say, Kaaba have hijacked my government. These are the headline coming in just less than 2 minutes ago. And I'm looking at Garba Shehu, the former spokesperson for Buhari, says, former President Muhammadu Buhari exclusive interview on the NTA. I'll have to watch that, because I couldn't catch up with it yesterday, but it's about 54 minutes, 17 seconds. I will have to watch that, and then probably we will talk about it. Remember, we did a program about Buhari on his way out. I'll be looking into that. But what I can tell you is that, the presidency hasn't said much about his backyard, where security has become a big issue. Buhari also talked about, while I approve the Naira redesign, whether Nigerians believe it or not, we are underdeveloped country. And I'm picking up from some of the headlines, from some of those that have watched the video of Buhari interview yesterday. In the sort of situation, there is materialism, and sometimes ruthlessly, they didn't care how they made the money. He said, I still feel the only way I could deprive these people was just to make sure that my integrity, gain integrity, Buhari talking about, even though the new president and the national security advisor is telling us that this government of Buhari bankrupted Nigeria. So I'm not sure where Buhari is talking about integrity. Became unquestionable. I think as a developing country, we still have a long way to go. Well, many campaigners for the self-determination are saying, this we are waiting is becoming too much. My grandmom died at the age of 92. She was told that Nigeria would be a great place. I don't know whether I want to wait till 92 before I start telling my children and my great-grandchildren that Nigeria will be great. So for some of us, it is much better that we dismantle or we dissolve. We come on the round table and we discuss. When you looked at Norway, Scotland is less than 12 million citizens. They are doing very well. Both countries played over the weekend. It was 3-3-0. And I can tell you, as much as the Scottish people are enjoying, they are still asking for one thing, and one thing is the right to self-determination.
Well, listeners, it is true, but what do you think about all that? We want you to tell us more about what you think about what we are discussing this morning, so that it will be for you. Now, the presidential, the former president's interview on the NTA, I know that you've not watched it yet. However, he talks about using the cabal, and I remember back in the day that his wife, Aisha Buhari, they talk about that she thinks that the president, the way he was like coming to crack down on corruption and stuff like that, wasn't going through because there were some cabals. So she also alleged. So could that be true at all, Yomi?
Well, Buhari tried as much as possible, to play it down, but we know that his government was hijacked, at some point, whether true or false. We saw that when the government came in for 6 months, there was no ministers at all. Then, later on, Buhari is now saying that I did my best. Not sure if expected results were achieved. Well, we now know that there wasn't any result that was achieved because the new administration has told us that the country has gone into bankrupt from a president that took the reins of affairs for 8 years. He also said he has given same chance. He wouldn't do anything differently under Nigeria's current system. That shows, and I'm again picking from some of the headlines from some of the news paper and the mainstream TV in Nigeria. I did my best, not sure if expected results were achieved. Well, many Nigerians don't think that you achieved any result because it was just a total failure. It was total chaos because the insecurity he left is still a big problem. The bankruptcy of the country is now having a big toll on the new administration that says, look, we want to help Nigerians, but there's no money in this reserve. The money is completely drained. The question then is, Buhari is saying that under the current system, he doesn't think he would have done anything different.
Well, he said he wouldn't. He's not sure that he will do anything different. But what do you think? Do they have done something different from what he's doing now? And he said, well, he acted, but he doesn't think that he got a requisite result. Maybe people have got it. If you got it, let us know. But listen, it's already UK. But this government doesn't seem to be able to shun away from the past presidents. So we have President John, who is also now, because of the statement that he has made, now the government or the presidency also saying that they are blaming former President Obasanjo for current state of Nigeria's democracy. What did Obasanjo do wrong there?
Well, Obasanjo is not new to writing letters. He's not new to telling Nigerians about how he feels when it comes to any particular government in place. But he hasn't written any letter yet. But the presidency is now fumes, and tackles, the former president as well, Obasanjo over a democracy comment. Let's go into the presidency yesterday. Blamed former President Olusegun Obasanjo as part of the current state of Nigerian democracy. Again, media, a very powerful tool. These are what Bola Tinubu has put in place, and they are doing the job, making sure that they can respond as quickly as possible. The special advisor again to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, who spoke to one of the main paper yesterday, noted that democracy the country currently practice date back to direct input by Obasanjo when he led the country's first military head of state from 1976 to 1979. Most of these individuals have destroyed Nigeria when they were running the military era until democracy came back in 1999. Obasanjo was very lucky, and he continued to be a very lucky Nigerian, even though he says his Nigerianness is much better than Yorubaness. Some even say that he's not even Yoruba man anyway. You are from the southeast of Nigeria. During 1976, 1979, as a civilian, and then from 1999 to 2007, Obasanjo ought to know that he brought this thing into Nigeria. He was the one who made us adopt it in 1979. He must have seen it as an expensive, unsuitable, when he governed us for 8 years and wanted to do another extension. Obasanjo wanted to become the president of Nigeria by coming into the third term, but that wasn't accepted. So it seems that, Onanuga says that Obasanjo is just, again, one man that is very bitter, and it's bitter because he wanted Peter Obi to become the president, but that failed. The president responded following the comment that Obasanjo made at the high-level consultation on rethinking Western liberal democracy in Africa that was held at the Green Resort Legacy Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library in Abeokuta. Obasanjo had criticized the Western democracy, suggesting that it had not delivered good governance and development in Africa, but it actually delivered for him and probably his cronies while he was the president from 1999 to 2007, and while he was a military dictator. So you can tell that these individuals made use of the same Western democracy, but Obasanjo thinks that maybe it's not the right thing right now. We need to pull it and unplug it.
Well, I've been saying it all the time that, well, the democracy that we are practicing, I think, at times, doesn't pan out well for us, because the way that even we are able to elect the leaders, and we're not doing that because maybe the person has got good policies or good reputation, but we are not doing that because we do it most of the time from coercion. I mean, because the people, they are abusing individuals, and that's what people vote for them. So what do you think? Let us know, and let us hear from you. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. A civil society organization, the African Network, today for economic and economic environment and economic justice today lamented the rising debt profile of Nigeria and some West African countries. Now we talk about this on the platform that going for loans is nothing bad, because you can use it so far as you are investing in infrastructure or some lucrative stuff that will benefit the citizens. Why not? But it looks like our people go for all these loans, and at the end of the day, you ask them, so what these loans are being used for, and they fall short. What are they saying?
Well, when it comes to taking loans, we've taken so much loan, in Nigeria that it's gonna take probably the next 7 decades, to pay them back. I mean, there's nothing wrong, in getting loan, but the problem is most of the loans that you get, if they are not put in the right place, if they're not used for the right purposes, that is of a waste of time. And let me give you a clear example of one right now. Because of the problem between Nigeria and Niger, we've taken out $2 billion to get a rail track to Niger. There's now no good relationship. Even Niger has now removed some of their military, that protects some of the borderlines, and that means that the influx of insecurity is also going to come in. We don't have any relationship with Niger as we speak right now. And the CSO laments the Nigerian rising debt profile. The civil society organization, the African Network for Environment and Economic Justice today, lamented the rising debt profile of Nigeria and some West African countries. It says it was disturbing that some of the most resources of the affected countries go into debt servicing. According to the Debt Management Office in Abuja, hosted the publication of the paper Debt Management Restricting Sustainability in ECOWAS. The executive director, David Ugolo, spoke during the 2-day International Ivory Conference on special drawing right with the team making special drawing right work for the people. Most of the loans have not worked for the people. We've taken loan to get the road fixed. We haven't fixed the road. We've taken loan to support the farmers, but yet farmers have not been supported. Now, I'm going to be getting a video, probably we might play that tomorrow, how milk is being delivered. I mean, it's been taken out from a farm, in Turkey, and that farm then, send the milk out, where it becomes a consumer produce as well. It is not the same thing in Nigeria, but again, we've known that the COVID pandemic has also increased solvent and liquidity issues, which is one of the main reasons, like the Sierra Leone debt is categorized as having a high risk of debt distress. What do? When we talk about getting loans from the IMF, the World Bank, the Arab loan, and so many loans as well, the problem is 10 nations that are listed include Benin Republic, Burkina Faso, Cabo Verde, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Niger, Senegal, Togo, according to a report that was published by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group and the Open Society. We hope that whatever loan that this new administration is taking will be in the interest of the country and not in the interest of just small individuals around the government.
Well, that's what we hope for, but we'll see whether that can be done. Listeners, it is Star Radio UK, 11:27, and updates from Nigeria with Mr. Adeleke. Now let's move on and look at some of the other issues here. Now, let me take two stories. Now, Osun State Governor Adeleke has spent 2 billion naira on meals, welfare packages, and 6 billion to run his office in 3 months. Now, Governor Alex Oti spent 223 million on refreshments, 397 million on welfare for entire state. Now, refreshment only 223 million. For the welfare of the entire state, 397. Now, yesterday we didn't talk about the fact that I think the Lagos State governor has also spent how many million? Is it 11 million or 7 million to buy Pepsi?
Yeah, almost 7.5 million.
Yeah, so you're asking yourself the question, are these people there to serve us, or are they serving themselves, their cronies? Yeah.
Well, this report is really generating a lot of conversation. The Lagos State Deputy Governor have literally come out to debunk some of the the information out there in the public domain. But let me give you some of the background again to other states as well. Let's take you through to a state governor that should be resigning or probably retired. I'm talking about Keredolu. He's not feeling very strong. He's not strong. We pray for him to get better, but he has actually left his office to be operating from Ibadan, your state. Akeredolu aid defense 7.3 billion spent without Ondo Assembly approved, says it will be normalized during the budget variant. That is on that. Now let's take you through to another one as well. These are some of the headline that is coming out in the last 48 hours. I got 2 trillion just for rechargeable fans and fridge, not 2 billion naira. Lagos State Deputy Governor Hamzat writes the state procurement agency that has now brought out this information that has now been looked and verified back to back by so many Nigerians in a very difficult time that Nigerians are going through hardship. Nigerians are struggling to have 3 square meal. Many rely on the diaspora to support them so that they can be able to sustain in the next couple of days and weeks. But it seems, let's see if we can adjust that. That is the Deputy Governor of Lagos State there, Hamzat, that have actually come out to say, look, I never got 2 million. All I got was I never got 2 billion. What I got was 2 million, and it was just for rechargeable fans and fridge. Again, you wonder why a Lagos State are still also using rechargeable fans. You will expect that Lagos should be able to have their own electricity. We hope that will change now that there's a new government in place. But this information has literally exposed the politicians, those that are meant to be in care of the state, and how they've decided to use the state as what we call their own cash out.
Well. We'll see. One day. There's a saying that every day for tip man.
Showore says it will not be televised when that revolution is going to happen. I mean, I was watching his timeline on the X space yesterday, and it's quite interesting how the daughter of Showore is also fighting hard, to get freedom for the father in the U.S. Let's see what I picked up from this X space yesterday. Showore posted 20 hours ago. These are let's first see if we can get that image up quickly. Once again, this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As the father continued to fight, the injustice taking place on many Nigerians, regardless of your background, Showore is there, fighting it. We love him. As long as he's doing the right thing to make sure that Nigerians continue to talk, which is something that we haven't done. So right there at the background, some of the students, I believe Showore's daughter is the one to the from your left hand side, the second to the left hand side, the tall, beautiful girl there. And Showore posted yesterday, says, "These great kids of mine and of others stood up for me during my detention by the lawless DSS in 2019. Even now, I am still in detention within the wider Nigeria. The struggle continues until revolution that birth a total liberation is achieved. Hashtag revolution now. Hashtag revolution Nigeria now."
I hope that they are not going to go there to go arrest him, because the moment he says revolution now, they think, this man is causing trouble. This is Star Radio UK. Mr. Manu Kokin and not planning series. I'm here in the South Studios, 11:22, and I'll hand over to Yomi for him to bring you all the other stories making the rounds of what is happening on the social media platform. Over to you, sir.
Well, politics. Politics is year round. Whether in UK, in America, anywhere around the world. But it seems that no section can produce governor alone, says Yaya Bello. Yaya Bello was the former governor of Kogi State. He has actually bowed out and the new governor has taken place. The Kogi State governor, Alhaji Yaya Bello, has said that the outcome of the just concluded governorship election has confirmed that only one section of the state cannot produce the governor. Rather, the three tribes must unite to produce the governor. The governor, which actually spoke at the stakeholders meeting at the All Progressive Congress that was held at the government house in Lokoja. My wife is still waiting for Dino new music since he did not win that election in Kogi State. But it seems that Dino is still probably in the studio. So we're waiting for the new release from Dino Malaye. Well, let's go straight to business. Many Nigerians are struggling, like we say. Business is very, very important. But as we continue to say that we should save money, it seems that the federal government is also losing money. Federal government actually lost $16 trillion to gas flare in 10 years. I mean, if that kind of money is injected back into the economy throughout the period of the 10 years, we're not blaming this particular government alone. We're talking about the previous government that have taken the realms of affairs of Nigeria. Let's look into that report, because whatever should have helped Nigeria and has failed continue to be questioned. The federal government has lost an estimated $16 trillion to natural gas flaring in 10 years, according to the report yesterday. The Energy Institute's 72nd edition of the Statistic Review of the World Energy 2023 said the amount was lost between 2012 to 2022. The breakdown of the statistics shows that the upstream, the downstream oil and gas firms operating in the country flared the highest amount of gas in 2019 that was estimated to about 12.9 billion cubic meters of the natural gas at about 9.2 billion cubic meters in 2013 and 8.3 billion in 2014 and 7.5 billion cubic meters in 2015. It seems that we have so much and we don't know what to do with it. Rather, we were just flaring them and we couldn't capture them. That could have been giving us what could have been $16 trillion. According to the Hebrew energy value for each 1 billion cubic meters of the natural gas is worth about $183 million. That is now giving an estimated 16 trillion lost to the menace within a period on the review. The question is, who do you hold responsible for such a calamity? The government, through the former President Muhammadu Buhari, had in 2020 pledged the support to the United Nations by 2050 zero gas emission agenda. All these agenda, when it comes to Nigeria, I don't believe it. There's still the SDG goal that is meant to be expiring in 2030. We're just less than 7 years before that, and it seems that Nigeria is still backwards when it comes to the SDG goals. Tinubu, whose G20 investors fake met over multiple taxation, as President Bola Tinubu continued to tell the international community that Nigeria is still the destination for investment, and that investment would help, make money to those countries and their companies and firms. But the question again is, are these firms ready to come down to the most populous black nation in Africa and invest? President Bola Tinubu has assured international investors from the G20 nations that money is safe within the borders of the country. Well, let's talk about those that have actually not been able to extract their money. I'm talking about the foreign airlines that the money are trapped in Nigeria as we speak right now. It seems that Bola Tinubu, the president, will have to sort that out, as much as there's so many other investment that might want to come in. The president also has disclosed this during a panel discussion titled Fostering Local Value Chains and Investment in Africa, the role of the German private sector at the G20 Compact with Africa Economic Conference hosted by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in Berlin on Monday. He highlighted to the investor that Nigeria has a large market and is ready to leverage all its advantage to become successful. While the president is trying to hold investors in Germany, the Federation Account Allocation Committee is mulling plans to take decisive actions against multiple taxation in the country. This is coming from the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, stated this at the opening of the FEC retreat on Monday in Delta. He announced that the government is not set to overburden taxpayers with many taxes, but we rather broaden its tax base while simplifying the streamlined tax administration in the country. 1138 will take one more from the health wise. Many Nigerians are not doing very well when it comes to health. Health is one of the biggest problems around the world, and if you're not investing in the cleanliness, you will then have a lot of problems. How open defecation, poor waste management have triggered Ogun cholera outbreak. In Africa, mostly not just in Nigeria, people still do open, defecation. You can just open it up there, which is not allowed even in UK. That's why you have the restaurant that are there. You can walk in there and do what you have to do and come out. Also, Ogun State to probe Bureau wastewater disposal after the Punch Healthwise report. I was looking at the report coming from Shell this morning, where the Ofcom have actually fined them 1.4 million pounds, for not doing what it's meant to do. The Shell Energy has been fined 1.4 million pounds by the Ofcom here in UK for breaching consumer protection rules. The question is, who do we fine? Who do we hold responsible, for some of the problems, like how the Bureau wastewater disposal, let's take a look into that story as we come back to Lagos community also battling with malaria. According to this headline, the Ogun State government says it has now launched an investigation into the allegation that wastewater from the multinational company International Bureaus had contaminated 3 rivers, serving as a source of drinking water to several communities in Orile-Imo in the Obafemi-Owode area of the state. This development is coming after a report from one of the paper detailed how the wastewater channel into the water source allegedly led to huge environmental contamination, threatening both humans and acute lives. So we hope that the Ogun State Ministry of Environment, Mr. Rotimi Oduni, yesterday, or rather today, revealed that the state government has now launched an investigation, and we hope that nobody will be bribed and that investigation just died along the line, because we know what happened, in Nigeria, especially when these firms, compared to UK that have just fined Shell 1.4 million pounds for what they called breaching consumer protection. We hope that we can get to that stage. As I take you to Lagos State, and I'll be heading straight to the social media. Lagos community battles malaria, counts losses as the seaweed decorate lagoon. Again, resident of Ikorodu community in Lagos State groan as seaweed invasion of the lagoon in the area has become a threat to their lives, crippled the source of livelihood. Residents of that Ikorodu community in Ikorodu local government area of Lagos State have lamented the impact of strange rebounds of seaweed, which has affected their environment, made life difficult for them by crippling business activities. According to the report, the seaweed infested the lagoon. The community members complained bitterly about observed that the environment was in a deplorable condition. And if you don't have the environment that is clean, be rest assured you would have citizens, community that will end up filling up your hospital, and those hospitals itself are not up to the standard. The reason why, while I was out this morning, on the out on my journey out, I saw at the bus garage how it was being cleaned continuously, because why? We want to have a safe community. So fishermen say whenever the seaweed, also known as water urchin, takes over the lagoon, they are unable to go out to fish for fear of losing their nets to the plant. So we hope Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu will be doing something quickly to resolve this situation happening in Ikorodu area of the state. And people say Ikorodu is one place that is very, very important. As the scammers continue to scam the Yoruba, I'm talking about, the Mrs. Dupe Onitiri that told us that 1 year was last year they declared Yoruba Nation. They've actually come out with another, scam that says that they now have, Ambassador Stephen Faletile as the first Yoruba Nation diplomat. Well, we're not too sure which of the diplomat, because we know that Nigeria is still operating as a country as we speak right now. She told some of the gullible Yorubas that they've declared a country last year, November 20, she spoke extensively again in her hidden cocoon, because remember that when we did an interview with her, we brought her on Skype, but in the last 6 months, she has not shown her face. She continued to speak just through the WhatsApp audio call. But it seems that the new scam is that Ambassador Stephen Falitile is the first Yoruba nation diplomat. This man that we're talking about actually told the Yorubas that he attended the United Nations 78th General Assembly section. But when review went back to find out which of the section, because all we saw was Nigerian representative, there was nothing called a Yoruba representative at the United Nations, we realized that it was just an NGO that is actually represented. So again, we've got to be very careful, as there's not just one scam that happens. There are multiple scams, and sometimes you could be scammed that you have a nation, and then you might not even know that you are being scammed. So that is just an advice for those that believe that Dupe Onitiri, that has now said that she declare a country, and that country is exactly 1 year, even though the Nigerian police is still operating, the Nigerian currency is still operating, the government is still running as we speak right now. So let us be very careful, because scam happens not just for people that are buying things. You could also be scammed by saying that they have a nation. So for the benefit of those. So would I underscore Yoruba name say scam alert? Be careful with this man called Ambassador Stephen Falitile, as they've called him. Again, what is trending in the social media at 11:44? Sanwo-Olu is trending, and I'm sure Sanwo-Olu will be trending because we know that perfumes was something that many people talked about. So why is Sanwo-Olu trending this morning? Let's see the reaction of Nigerians. This one says, Falana insisted that the mandate of Abakabi must be restored, the choice of the people of Kano. Again, that will have to be something that will have to be decided. Oluwashola said, this is why we won't catch me criticizing Sanwo-Olu or Tinubu, mostly when the criticism is being pushed by the Igbos. Again, you can tell that there's a lot of hatred between the Yorubas and the Igbos, and that is why some that are Biafra says, well, since we don't want to have this good unity, maybe it's time to discuss the roundtable discussion and decide whether we still want to be together. I can only criticize Yoruba leaders when I am convinced to do so, and I do it constructively. Igbos are known to shield their own and crucify others. So you can tell that the kind of bitterness and hatred that goes on the airspace between these two indigenous people has been going on for a very long time. So not much coming from Sanwo-Olu, but again, 2 hours ago, I visited Lagos State Governor His Excellency Sanwo-Olu at the Lagos State House Assembly in Marina. This is coming from someone that paid a visit to Sanwo-Olu in the office. Well, let's see what more is trending, and I'll return back again to you in the studio. Once again, Ibuka Obi is trending, Chief of Staff is trending. There's another story about a woman that died, may her soul rest in peace, known as Posh Mama. Posh Mama criticized Dr. Chinelo, after she posted that she has been attacked, on a train. This was a train attack that led to her death, but it seems that the young woman herself have now passed on. May her soul rest in peace. So that is how far I can see. I'm going to come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Well, listeners, Mr. Layomi Koiki for you this morning, bringing you everything I need to know when it comes to Nigeria. And, what has the presidency responded to anything from the southeast that is pertaining to Nnamdi Kanu? Have there been any statement from that place? Because there were lots of things. And
well, it seems maybe there are probably work going on underneath that we are not aware of, but there hasn't been much between, Tinubu has been so busy traveling, from Saudi Arabia to Guinea, from Guinea back to Germany. Yes, there hasn't been any kind of a response between, the Igbos and the Onaize that are asking Tinubu now to look into, the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Not much is coming again from the information minister that would have also given us a hint, but we hope that Nnamdi Kanu, as a return to the court next month, maybe he might get his freedom next month.
Okay, let's see. Will he get his freedom or not? And has Dr. Chisandego's mom, has she been married? Because it looks like it's been a bit quiet. So someone was asking me about it. I said, I'm not sure, but once I have Yobi, you'll be able to tell me.
Well, she hasn't been buried. She's still being kept in the where she is at the moment, but there's an ongoing work to decide when it will be very, very convenient to get her buried. But for now, Chief Sunday Igboho hasn't said anything, and there's not much we can say on that at the moment.
Okay. Yummy. Let me say thank you very much for this wonderful update. Before you go, sir.
Well, it's still the Tuesday edition. It is a very beautiful 11:48 as I leave you with Archie. Archie takes you to the rest of the program. I'll be back again tomorrow, and tomorrow will be a very fantastic day. But for now, enjoy the rest of the day with Archie. Bye for now.
Bye-bye, sir. Have a lovely day. We'll catch up later.
Bye for now.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Meals.
BB means business. There's no business in Nigeria anymore. Oh boy. What a day to start with 11 o'clock or 12 rather. If shall answer, they're all liars. Remote me. All liars. This was 1 month ago.
In our space, and this is something I'm also writing a book about. That PPP was like a silver bullet. Government should just hand everything to the private sector and it will work. Perhaps if you interrogate our economy today, most of our economies were privatized in the aftermath of the structural adjustment programs, and we still think that there's a lot of improvement. So, Channels TV is now private. This was a space where only government used to play many years ago. Print media now private, banking private. Government has really let go of many things, aviation and all of that. But government is still the leader across the world. I did a study across the 7 continents, and I see that in many cases, governments are spending up to 60 to 70% of government funding to deliver infrastructure. The space that private sector occupies ranges from.
In Thomas O'Neill, if you believe all this nonsense, the Fashola is up. You are on your own. That is what they're good at. Rhetorics. What you doing? What the former minister of works. But Nigerians love that now. You are the like me. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Jakolu Shola ṣe ti bínú sí mi báyìí. I can get back sí yín. So sorry. I'm trying to get àlàyé yẹn, but we still get it. That's what you love rhetorics, Dẹ́fẹ́ káwọn náà máa ṣe nìyẹn. Ká máa sọ̀rọ̀ lójoojúmọ́. Ẹ ti rẹ̀ tí wọ́n máa sọ̀rọ̀ dànù. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́. Ẹ̀wọ́ tí wọ́n máa sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ fẹ́ ká máa ṣe bí àwọn Fáṣọlá. Ìṣèjọba tán nísìn. Ìbí ìjọba Fáṣọlá náà ni ìjọba Buhari tán ní Nàìjíríà wà bankrupt. Àbí kan ọmọ ìyá kan náà kan ní gbogbo wọn. Ọmọ ìyá kan náà ni wọ́n náà. Ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ tẹ́wà lórí mixlr. Mo mọ tó ń ṣe mixlr rẹ̀ tó ń píìkì tèmi nìkan tó píìkì tí a ṣe. System tí gbogbo ẹ̀rí bó ṣe rí náà ni kọ́nà kò ṣàmì. So ẹ̀yin tèmi ẹ̀ka ẹ̀ǹdì ti Star Radio àwọn padà wá létà wọ́n ṣe tiwa. So ó pè mí wọn láyé mi ó dẹ̀ náà máa pè mí ìyàwó àtọmọ ń kọ́ ń bẹ̀ wọn àpò bízì dẹ̀ kó tọ́jú wa la máa dúró tiẹ̀ ẹ̀ wojú mi àbí èmi náà wojú yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wojú mi lèmi náà wojú yín ajá ń wojú ara wa. Nigerian economy ó ń lọ bí galloping ni ẹgbówó lọ sí Nàìjíríà nìsín Tinubu náà wá investors ó náà wá investors tó máa invest nínú Nàìjíríà ṣé táyìn náà bá lówó nísìn nínú Nàìjíríà lè máa lọ invest sí wọ́n jẹ́ kí èmi lọ invest nínú Nàìjíríà o bá lówó nísìn àgbówó mi lọ síbò mi lọ invest ni tí bá tẹ̀lé investor kan nísìn mo ní sọ pé kó lọ Nàìjíríà báwo lè gbọ́ mi Yẹmí Fátókè ẹgbówó lọ sí Nàìjíríà. Mr. Peter, how you doing, sir? Gbówó lọ Nàìjíríà. Nàìjíríà kọ́ Nàìjíríà ni. Tí bá lówó kan nísìn, Nàìjíríà ni màá lọ invest sí. Ìlú tí mo ṣọ́ọ̀kì máa rí returns. Oògùn lọ́tún máa fi lé ẹ. With kidnapping and insecurity. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni just reason ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Àgbówó lọ Nàìjíríà. Tẹ́yìn bá lówó nísìn, ṣé Nàìjíríà lè máa invest sí? How many people will go and invest in Nigeria? Excuse me. If you have money now, if somebody give you money now, talk fún ẹ lówó kan nísìn pé this is $10 million, would you go and invest in Nigeria? Mr. Dini sọ pé good afternoon, last man standing, Koiki Media, Urban Nation. Would you go and invest in Nigeria? If somebody give me and you money now, so you go and invest in Nigeria, kí ló máa fẹ́ lọ invest? Mo kí African Parrot TV ẹ ti lọ gba kíní abẹ́ ẹ̀ ti gbà ẹ̀ get back sí mi wọ́n ṣé ẹ bá gbówó níṣẹ́ gbówó lọ sí Nàìjíríà lọ invest in Nigeria, one bastard country. Ìyá mi kọ́ fọ́dẹ̀ tí ní kí ẹ máa ṣépè fún yín mọ́, tí ní kí n fi yín sílẹ̀ ní kọ́ máa sọ tèmi ní kí n máa ṣépè fún anybody. Yóò bá yẹ everybody máa jẹ breakfast. Ìlú yìí náà ní problem, pépà tèmi lélẹ̀ kí n máa ń ka pépà tèmi lélẹ̀ ṣe yẹ kí n sàn kọ́tọ́ àná pé àwa náà ní problem níbí báyìí ẹ̀rọ̀bá ní problem ni. Ìlú ta ní ìyàn kan wà níbàyìí nísìnyí tó wò mí nísìnyí coach ní nísìnyí nílùú tó wà báyìí ó yẹ kó máa coach yín ní Nàìjíríà ní tó bá yẹ pẹ̀lú yẹn ṣiṣẹ́. Cherry story orí Vantage lánàá ẹ̀rí tí mo post lórí Twitter ní gbogbo platforms chairman I'm sure kó wọn náà àti rí lórí Instagram orí Vantage ni mo ti ka story yẹn ń bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ń lọ báyìí ń bọ̀ ẹ ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ at least àwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ tí ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí backup channel díẹ̀díẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ń lọ sórí community mi. There's a place on YouTube called Community where we post things there for you to read. Always bad news. Nothing comes out of the weary country. Weary country in Nigeria. I love this woman very well. You know, woman is Palakisa Bekilomanje. Yeah, Vantage. To ban ṣe kini aba man gbádùn ẹni. You know, she's very good in what she does. Very much a again. Parky Shaman, Lori Vantage. It's a very good program. You know, we don't know what the lekoto de pe what it basi Vantage. She's getting good amount of money. What to make? Nigeria can't fire football coach due to lack of funds. Do you understand what that means? What do you mean by I load software money, so I can't be showing you all these things. I mean, we're using mobile phone. Nigeria can't fire football coach unless it's a headline in India. I don't know. Ṣé mo tí mo jẹ ṣé nǹkan tí mo jẹ fún yín mo ní stamina bọ̀ ó fi máa kùn mí lórun ẹ̀bà ni mo jẹ ẹ̀bà ni mo jẹ láàárọ̀ yìí kébi tó pa mí nílùú yìí apẹ̀ wàláì ẹ̀bà ni mo jẹ mo ní wá sọ̀rọ̀ ọbẹ̀ tí mo fi jẹ ni tí wọn náà bá tẹ̀rẹ̀ bàjẹ́ láàárọ̀ ó mà pé náà máa dùn. Nigeria can't fire èèyàn kan wọ̀ mí báyìí nísìnyí bàbá fúbọ́là ni mo ní sọ̀lù tó wà ó ti gbá bọ́ọ̀bì ṣé gé nílùú yẹn mountain miss ní talent ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ń lé náà ní talent àwa náà ní talent Nigeria wa pa talent ẹ̀ mọ́ gbogbo wa lára pa talent àwa ń struggle. Your corner, I would rather go on holiday with the money than to invest. Mr. Oladimeji. You know, Nigeria can't fire football coach due to lack of funds. Lówó láti san fún coach. I mean, èmi tí mo ti jẹ báyìí 10 o'clock mo ti 11 mo sùn lánàá. Máa fi gbọ́ 10 o'clock news BBC kí n tó lọ sùn ẹ̀pẹ́ àmọ́ fi ṣe tí bá ti ṣe late night ẹ ló máa ń destabilize mi tí bá ti ṣe late night ni tèmi nìkan lẹ́nu wà lé nísìnyí so tí bá ti ṣe late night companies that have ẹja gbọ́ bíbá hold on síbẹ̀ yẹn ẹjẹ̀ ń tan YouTube wa lórí Koiki Media ká máa bá program yẹn lọ báyìí. But what I have to do is mo ní láti pa Facebook yìí because mo fẹ́ kí Star Radio kó pick on his own ṣáyítà wà lórí bíbá máa pa máa tuntun ẹ má bínú lórí Koiki Media Odùduwà ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Jàkólé Ṣọlá máa disconnect ibẹ̀ máa connect ẹ̀ padà so I will just continue the program from now so ká máa bá ìrìnàjò no I don't want to do that mo fẹ́ parí program tí mo ń ṣe lánàá yẹn èwo ni ká ṣe ẹ ká parí program tá à ń ṣe lánàá yẹn mo ní máa ṣe part 2 so I think we should do the part 2 but ẹ ká gbọ́n kan tí wọ́n ń sọ lẹ́yìn bíbá àwọn companies tó ti exit Nigeria ní channels ń sọ yìí.
This begs the question how the country can retrieve the confidence of these investors when major industry players packed up and left. For instance,
Major investors. Báwo ló ṣe sọ? Ń bọ̀. Ìjà padà sẹ́yìn.
see where his major interests lie. He's been wooing foreign investors back into the country, assuring them Nigeria is ready.
I mean, if the country is not crazy, let's just go on with the program for now. If nobody say the country crazy, there are some companies that are exiting Nigeria. I don't think I get the message. Company can pull out. President to a long company can come up padà. I mean, how does that work? You're gonna they prepare my pepper soup. I know I'm still lost. I'm lost. There are some company we don't pull out of Nigeria. My sort of company for anything we call lórí channels the same. So I can't body díẹ̀ sí. Our company can pull out. Tinubu wa náà wá another company come abo. How? Oh yeah.
Business. That's a question how the country can retrieve the confidence of the investors when major industry players.
How do you put confidence in investors? Any country tí kò bá ti ní táwọn investors ò bá ti ní confidence in it, they're not gonna invest. Kò sọ́gbọ́n ẹ̀ mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Tony Ages. How? Báwo lè ṣe fẹ́ káwọn investors wá? Mo ń wo ìyàwó Nàìjíríà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo India economic growth. Bìbí yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ lé lánàá. Ìyẹn Adeleke Sharma. Òun ló máa ń ṣe news aago mẹ́rin ní orí Vantage. Ṣé mọ̀ pé Indian economy ó máa ti ń beat tàwọn European country kankan. Economy India. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Sunday Adébánjọ ní Mr. Koiki Tinubu just dey scam zoo Nigerian citizenship. Indian economic growth. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ka èdè rẹ̀. India, a rising star. By 2030, ọdún méje 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By 7 years from today, níbi táwa ṣì ń ṣe náà ṣe ràtìràtì. By 2030, India will be the second largest economy in Asia Pacific region, as strong macro fundamentals and improving business environment. A fẹ́ ṣe business in Nigeria. Ẹ dáhùn àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pa fẹ́ ṣe business. Ẹ yẹ kí n túnṣe báyìí. As at 20 years ago, ta ló fẹ́ invest in Nigeria? I'm sure everybody will say yes. 20 years ago, tí bá béèrè pé èèyàn mélòó ló fẹ́ invest in Nigeria as at 20 years ago, many people will say yes. Ẹ mọ̀ reason that she fẹ́ invest in Nigeria because a rí potential for opportunity wà níbẹ̀. We saw a great opportunity in there. I don't know about any other person. Èmi o, Ọláyọmí Kóìkì. can't anymore. Kàkà kí n invest in Nigeria nísìn màá struggle kí n dá investment yẹn padà sí bíbá torí pé growth máa wà níbẹ̀, stability máa wà níbẹ̀, confidence máa wà níbẹ̀. Kò ń ṣe pé ìlú yìí náà kò ní tiẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. Mo ń ka paper lọ láàárọ̀ yìí. Prime Minister wa lélẹ̀ Rishi Sunak, right? Kí ni mo kà ń bẹ̀? Ó ní we will cut taxes and reward work labour. It is just another Tory pledge. Autumn budget statement with pressure growing from the Tory MP, Member of Parliament, which is equivalent to our senator, to reduce UK record tax burden. Òun ni Wálé Ẹdún sọ nínú ìtìmọ̀ ká lẹ́ǹkan tá a bá padà sí ibi tí mo ti ń lọ sí business. Because the reason I say talk lórí business is because business is what is going to bring a country to strive. But in a country where there is no enabling environment, because there's no level playing field. So ẹ̀rí lẹ́ẹ̀kan tí mo kà pé Tinubu woos yẹn mi pé ó fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn investors wá sí Nàìjíríà. But ní channels ní 1 month ago Glasgow àwọn tó ń ṣoògùn tó ń ṣe oríṣiríṣi ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ohun tó sọ lẹ́ǹkan.
Packed up and left.
They've packed up GSK, Glasgow Smith. They have to pack up. I mean, these are very powerful, industry, powerful firm, organization. Tabadni ká lọ wo GSK, ká lọ wo revenue wọn, GSK, kí ni value wọn lénìí. So, but how did we allow that kind of organization, that kind of company called pull out kúrò nínú Nigeria? Kí ló dé tó ṣe pull out? Ṣé wọ́n rí kankan ní ṣèbí nígbà táwọn yẹn bá ń pull out ó wá ní kíró àwọn onítẹ́tẹ́ ń kọ́bọ̀ owó kéékèèké ká wá invest in Nigeria, you dey whine me. Our 4 core values guide us in everything we do. Operate with transparency. Kò ń ṣe pé gbogbo wọn náà lọ clean up, but at least oyè yìí. Demonstrate respect for people. Act with integrity. Remain patient-focused. GSK is a science-led global healthcare company that research and manufactures a range of products to help people do more, feel better, and live long. Nígbà tí GSK ti kúrò Nàìjíríà nísìn, how do you want to live long? Ṣé rí pé problem wà? But reason tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yóò feel pé there's a problem ẹ̀ wá ọ̀tá máa kọ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ dànù àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ẹ fi sọ wá di àwọn tó wà ní Nàìjíríà tó kàn sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ tí ì rí pé nǹkan tá a gbé dání òtítọ́ ni. So at the end of the day, the consequence will be felt by you and me. Àwa náà máa feel ẹ̀, ẹ̀yin náà máa feel ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo value tó ń gbé jáde kí ni profit wọn mo fẹ́ kí n wò. They are also on the stock market. Èmi ò mọ̀ nípa stock market, so I can't advise anybody on the stock market. But mo ṣáà rí pé ó sọ pé 1406.40 ó dẹ̀ sọ pé minus 1.6 as at November today, so I don't know what that means. But this GSK headquarters wọ́n wà ní UK was GSK PLC is a British multinational pharmaceutical and biotechnology company with a global headquarters in London. They have a total number of 69,400 employees. One organization. Government has no business in any company. Government must set up policy or set up system so that tí Koiki bá fi wá register sí Nigeria for business, iṣẹ́ government ni pé kó protect me so that government ló máa tako èmi pé ṣé mo sanwó dáadáa fún wọ, ṣé mo ń take care, ṣé welfare, values, and all that. Ìdí tí gbogbo ń ṣe ń struggle nílé is because kò sí investors kankan mọ́ gbogbo wọn ti yá dànù àwọn tó sì wà wọ́n sì wà o àwọn tó ń ta pàrágà àwọn tó ń ta Guinness àwọn breweries wọ́n mọ̀ pé máa mọtí yó pẹ́ tó bá dẹ̀ ṣe mọtí ìlú tó bá kọ̀ mọtí tẹ̀ orí yín ò lè pè níbẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀mùtí náà wà nílùú yìí wọ́n wá nu stock kan lánàá wọn lọ́ra nǹkan bọ̀bọ̀ kankan wọlé ló bá kó sandwich wọn ló bá kó lọ wàhálà mo rí rẹ̀ Greg's ní store yẹn mo lọ́ra nǹkan nínú bẹ̀ wọ́n ní bó ṣe máa ń wá nìyẹn mo wá rí nínú pépà lénìí the same thing tó sọ yẹn tó wà ní pépà lénìí wàláì bó ṣe rí tó bá yẹ kí mo rí lánàá bọ̀bọ̀ kan náà wà nù àpọ̀nù store yẹn gbà ó kàn wọlé ó kó sandwich kó mo rò pé mo drink ó kàn kó sandwich ó fast òun náà sáré ní gbùdùgbùdù ó kàn ó bẹ jáde mo wá kà nínú pépà tèmi lélẹ̀ right ní kọ́nà yìí lọ́kọ́ sí ní page fáwọn tó bá ti ka ẹlòmíràn gbogbo ka metro ẹ̀ ló dẹ̀ ti fa gbùrù lọ kí ló kàn pẹ̀lú pépà. Greg's have been named one of the hardest firms hit by shoplifters and tó ń jí nǹkan nínú shop. The bakery chain said to be now removing donut from display cases to stop being pinched. One pinch it. So, we should have value. What? What is the gross profit of GSK? Okay. GSK gross profit for 12 months ending September last year, because we don't really got to submit the kini company whatever wọn ohun ẹ̀tọ́ pa ní last year company yẹn lè wá jẹ́ kó kúrò Nàìjíríà ìwọ ṣì wà ń sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa wọ òkè náà ṣé ìwọ náà wọ òkè sábà ìwọ tó ní Nàìjíríà wọ òkè yẹn ṣoṣo ọ̀pọ̀ èmi gbọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ka máa bèrè lọ́wọ́ yẹn ṣe ṣọ́ọ̀pọ̀ yìí wọ òkè. GSK gross profit for 12 months 1 month to 12 months oṣù méjìlá ní last year wọ́n pa $24 billion. $24 billion. A 15.3% decline over the year, because ní 2022 wọ́n pa $24.45 billion. Ó tún decline ní 2021 wọ́n pa $30.95 billion. Mr. Koiki, but the guy paid for his own. The shopkeeper got it wrong. Níbo ni wọ́n ti get it wrong, I understand. Ṣé nǹkan tí mo ní pé yàn pinch nínú stall ẹni pé yàn kan get it wrong? I don't get it. Explain further, please. Mr. Koiki, but the guy paid for his own. The shopkeeper got it wrong. What shopkeeper? Mo ní yàn jí sandwich lánàá. Ṣé yẹn lẹ́ ń sọ pé yàn kan pay fún? I don't know what you're talking about. Explain further. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Yoruba people are thinking that. Ẹ̀yin wà ní shop pẹ̀lú yẹn, ẹ wà ní shop pẹ̀lú mi lánàá ni. Nígbà tó fi sanwó. Mo níyàn jí sandwich lánàá ẹni ó sanwó. Nígbà olùgbé ló gbà sanwó. Anyway, jẹ́ ká pa broadcast. I don't know. The politicians are just telling lies, telling lies. Mo sọ fún ìyàwó mi láàárọ̀, mo ní they've made so much money that at the end of the day, okay, it's another sin, okay. Kódà wọ́n kọ́ síbi wà náà, Greg's wà lára àwọn shop tó ti máa ń jí nǹkan lọ́wọ́ wọn máa ń jí. So aláwọn wèrè náà nílùú iná àwọn tó gbádùn, and things shit happen in this country. ṣẹ́rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ní àwọn agbèrò tó máa ń pààyàn yẹn, aláwọn tó máa ń pààyàn náà níbí báyìí wọ́n pa bìbí kan náà ọmọ 24 years old. Rárá àwọn tó pa náà wọ́n lé ra wọn kọ̀ waste ọmọ ọlọ́mọ dànù. Ẹ wò fine girl yìí tó padà nílùú ìní o, ẹ wòran fine girl relationship tí relationship ò bá lọ bóyá yẹ kó lọ, just walk out of it. 4 men guilty of murdering Ashley after a row at Glastonbury Festival. Àwọn ìṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe máa ń sọ pé àwọn tó ń pààyàn ní Nàìjíríà àwọn náà láwọn tó máa ń pààyàn nígbà yìí but problem ni pé àwa máa sentence wọn ẹ̀wọ̀n lọ́ máa kú sí bó ṣe wà yìí ṣọ́ra àwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin tẹ̀ ń wò yìí nísìn àwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin àwọn lọ ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn o mọ reason táwa ṣe máa ń rí wọn mú because the system is working wọ́n wọnú ilé ọmọ 28 years old ní bèbí náà fine girl you know, tó dùn láwọ̀ tó dùn lára can you imagine ọlọ́run fún ọ̀run kẹ́ gone down at her home inú ilé ẹ̀ lọ ti pa wọ́n wọnú ilé lọ bá ní ẹni tó gbébọn yẹn gangan lélẹ̀ shit happen everywhere in the world so sometimes ẹ máa ń rò pé bóyá ta bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ bóyá torí Nàìjíríà ta ẹlòmíà ní ẹ because you dey London you dey talk like that náà tó máa wọ́pọ̀ wèrè. The difference is that you know we can track them kódà gbogbo ibi tí mo rìn kọjá lénìí tó bá ṣì di 1 month tó bá fi mú sàìlábà mi ìtọ́ tó jábọ́ sílẹ̀ lẹ̀ ìtọ́ mi tó jábọ́ sílẹ̀ lẹ̀ wàá ṣe líǹkẹ̀ pé mi ni mo kọ ọbẹ̀ kọjá after 1 month ni mo ń sọ pé o kò tutọ́ sílẹ̀ lẹ̀ kítọ̀ yẹn ti gbẹ wàá sì kó iyẹ̀pẹ̀ yẹn wá kó lọ sínú lab á sọ fún wọn pé Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ló tutọ́ sílẹ̀ lẹ̀ ẹ lè rí nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà o for the next 63 years again tàbá wà ń bẹ̀ because wọ́n prepare Nigeria for that kind because àwọn kan tó máa solve crime ni mò ń sọ yìí nísìn báwo ni terrorist máa jí àwọn èèyàn gbé nínú Nàìjíríà àdé máa sọ pé àmọ́ bí tá wà on top waiting tó bá train mi gan dáadáa máa wọnú gbó àlọ́ bá wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ wọnú gbó lọ bá wọn ìbáwọn náà lọ́tún dá wọn dúró pé ẹ má wọnú gbó lọ bá wọn this and that ẹ ká padà wá lọ ṣe nǹkan míì. Thanks so much, everyone. My name is Olami Koiki. Hope you've enjoyed the Star Radio and the extra that we gave you as well. So we will continue to use our platform to educate many of you, and we hope one day, just one day, a lot of you will start to understand that some of us that have lived in this kind of society, and that lived in this kind of society, they can go, really understanding it. But our been in a society, it will be difficult to just bundle ourselves and go back to Nigeria and come and live there on top waiting. I mean, we can come home, have fun, spend time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. For 4 months. He just came back to this London pada. Àwọn tó ti wà níbà tó níwèé nìyẹn. So wọ́n easy fún wọn kó wálé. Wọ́n bá dẹ̀ ti kọ́lé sí Nàìjíríà, wọ́n lè gbé nínú ilé wọn. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti kọjá yàrá wọn tó ń lọ mo bíá padà tó ń lọ káàkiri tó ń gbọ́bìnrin the little tó bá ní wá enjoy it in 4 months gẹ́gẹ́ wọn ní project wọn ṣe nílé wọ́n pè mí lánàá náà lọ Nàìjíríà ní Yorùbá nation làwọn ṣì ń ṣe o so you understand so àwọn yẹn lọ opportunity but I'm talking about ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ jẹ́ dìde láti lẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ dìde wọ́n tẹ̀yìn mọ́lẹ̀ ẹ fẹ́ dìde wọ́n tẹ̀yìn mọ́lẹ̀ ẹ fẹ́ dìde wọ́n tẹ̀yìn mọ́lẹ̀ because wọ́n mọ̀ pé moment ẹ bá ti dìde tí gbogbo bá dìde tán you know playing level kìíní la máa wà àwọn tó lówó burúkú wà nílùú yìí owó gidi tó yẹ pé ṣọ́fà máa ń ṣílẹ̀kùn fún wọn ni wọ́n fọwọ́ ṣílẹ̀kùn àwọn olówó bẹ́ẹ̀ wà wọ́n lè jalè you understand so but unfortunately àwa ṣe wa máa wá yàn kan fún wa lówó stress yẹn ti pọ̀ jù èmi ìlà fi máa fún lówó every day èmi ń parọ́ èmi ò parọ́ mo wo bèbí kan náà wife mi wo program kan lánàá náà àti àjọkò pálọ̀ àbá àwọn ìyàwó wa oríṣiríṣi làwọn náà máa ń pick lórí social media so I just sit down there bèbí yẹn sáà ń para you born pikin first pikin I dey give you money you born second pikin I dey give you money you born third pikin I dey give you money fourth pikin I say I no get money you come dey para iṣẹ́ òun lòun ní kó máa lọ gbádùn kí níyẹn tó fi ń bímọ ni ṣé mo lè sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún ọmọ Nàìjíríà níbí báyìí pé kí ló dé tó ṣe ń gbádùn rẹ̀ tó wá doyún tó bímọ because number one mo fún yàn kankan lówó nílùú yìí lẹ́yìn pé tíyàn bá bímọ tó ń ṣe baby shower tààrà nǹkan fún wọn tá lọ yọ̀ tá jẹun tá ṣe tọ́lẹ̀ bímọ yẹn láyọ̀ àtàláfíà ṣé mo àgbájọ tí mo ti délùú yẹn kan pè mí pé Mr. Koiki mo máa fi sanwó hospital ọmọ ìyàwó mi ó lóyún mo fi sanwó hospital in 25 years mo gbọ́ rí Nàìjíríà nǹkan náà láti máa ń gbọ́ so ó difficult kí ẹni tó bímọ nísìn kí wọ́n máa sọ pé ṣèbí nígbà tó bímọ àkọ́kọ́ èbí mi mọ̀ ń fún ẹ lówó àmì táwọn ọmọ wa bá ń ṣe bẹ́tílà fúnra wa a máa ń ra gift tó o bá dẹ̀ ra òòrà náà nìyẹn bọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà nísìn ẹni bá ti lóyún báyìí tó bá ti kò ń ṣe gbogbo yan but majority fún wa lówó mo fi sanwó hospital àbí ọmọ mi ò tí ì jẹun hàn fáwọn kan bẹ́ẹ̀ máa ń dùn àwọn alọ́kàn pé ká máa gbọ́ pé èèyàn kan ìjẹun ibi ń pààyàn pé ìwọ èmi ti jẹba nísìn ikùn mi ti le báyìí èèyàn kan wá pè mí pé òun ò tí ì jẹun ẹ̀wọ̀n mo lè realize pé lóòótọ́ bíi àwa gan fúnra wa yẹ ká tọ́jú ara wa àwọn táwa labroad gbogbo ohun tó yẹ ká fi ṣe ìtọ́jú fúnra wa a ti sẹ́ndẹ̀ sí Nàìjíríà títí Nàìjíríà bá ní system tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ fáwọn ìlú mi láti ẹ̀mọ́ máa wá ta fẹ́ support ta fẹ́ ṣe charity fún àwọn ń ṣe charity sí Nàìjíríà nílùú tó ẹgbọ́n kan tó sọ $16 trillion gas flare tó bá mọ tán pé bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ́ lọ bèèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn pé Koiki sàn kankan lórí program àwọn náà kìíní kan pé gas nǹkan flare $16 trillion la lose do you know what that is? Thank you so much my sister ẹni tí mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí mo ṣe ẹkú tọ́jú wa gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ ń tọ́jú wa Ọlọ́run tọ́jú ẹ̀yin náà so bọ́ bí ṣe sọ ìyá kan máa pè mí o ẹ bá ti ní problem ẹ ṣáà lọ bá politicians àwọn nìkan lọ máa kanlẹ̀kùn wọn pé Koiki níta bá ti ní problem ẹ̀yin nìkan wá bá máa bá mi o èmi náà ní problem tèmi tí mò ń dé pẹ̀lú lójoojúmọ́ so bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn á padà wá later I'll rest there again thanks so much my name is Olami Koiki have a very good afternoon Koiki Media bringing the work closer to your doorstep kí tó lọ mo fẹ́ make sure because I don't know why tá a bá ṣe program tán lórí backup channel wa they always go private so jẹ́ kí n mo fẹ́ lọ wò pé ṣé wà I don't know why it's doing that kò ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tá a bá ń lo laptop but every now and then tí bá ti ṣe program tán it goes straight into private màá ṣe tó wá lọ dá padà sí public so I want to check something now while I'm still live because ṣe rántí nísìn so okay this is the video I'm doing right now kò yẹ kó máa wá bẹ́ẹ̀ so jẹ́ kí n ṣe edit the video. Okay public náà ló wà but the moment tí bá pa video yìí nísìn á dẹ̀ lọ sí private bí i YouTube's new process ni ẹ pé láti fi make sure pé video yẹn is okay or so I don't know because it's telling me it's public now but the moment tí bá pa video yẹn nísìn á gbé lọ sí private so bí a tẹ bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ẹ padà lọ the video will always be there again so but normally tá a bá ti ṣe tán I always make sure I go back and check that the video is in public so mo kí gbogbo ilé nǹkan náà bí ní ti bá dárúkọ gbogbo yẹn I saw everyone there thanks so much Iyami Kemi Bello and the rest of you mo kí bàbá Kitoye thanks so much those of you on the Twitter space and Instagram TikTok wa will be back in 3 days wọ́n ti fún wa ní suspension lé lórí èmi ò mọ tí mo sọ níbẹ̀ tán mo á gbọ́ pé Lady K náà ṣe program lánàá tó ní ọ̀rọ̀ àpótí yẹn bá ń react bákan TikTok ma shut it down I don't know so thanks so much everyone have a very good afternoon Olayemi Koiki Media èyí á máa jẹ́ 21st of November 2023 I love putting the date and the time because àwọn kan máa padà wá wo fídíò pé àwọn ilé gbìyànjú fún wa bí èmi náà ṣe ń gbádùn ìlú yìí torí àwọn tó ṣe ìlú yìí tèmi fi ń gbádùn ẹ̀ èmi náà ń júbà wọn kò níjọ́ kan kémi tó dé ìlú yìí dogs black gbogbo wa wọn jẹ́ ó dà ó lè rẹ́ǹtì ilé nílùú yìí nígbà yẹn but things have changed now adúpẹ́ fọlọ́run thanks so much everyone bye for now. I've been able to lórí Mixlr, not too sure what is going on